Bird Parliament by Farid Attar, translated by Edward FitzGerald, 1889. Once on a time, from all the circles seven, between the steadfast earth and rolling heaven, the birds all of all note, plumage and degree, that float and air and roost upon the tree, and they that from the waters snatch their meat, and they that scour the desert with long feet, birds of all natures, known are not to man, flocked from all quarters into full divan, on no less solemn business than to find or choose a sultan, caliph of their kind, for whom, if never theirs, are lost they pined. The snake had his, 'twas said, and so the beast his lion lord, and man had his at least, and that the birds who nearest were the skies, and went apparelled in its angel dyes, should be without under no better law than that which lost all other in the maw, dispersed without a bond of union, nay, are meeting to make each other's prey. This was the grievance, this the solemn thing, on which the scattered commonwealth of wing, from all the four winds flying like the cloud, that met and blackened heaven, and thundered loud, with sound of whirring wings and beaks that clashed down like a torrent on the desert dashed, till by degrees the hubbub and pell-mell into some order and precedence fell, and proclamation made of silence each in special accent, but in general speech, that all should be that all should understand as seemed him best, the congregation of all wings addressed, and first with heart so full as from his eyes ran weeping uprose Tajidar the wise, the mystic mark upon whose bosom showed that he alone of all the birds the road had traveled, and the crown upon his head had reached the goal, and he stood forth and said, "O birds, by what authority divine I speak, you know, by his authentic sign and name emblazoned on my breast and bill, whose counsel I assist at and fulfill. At his behest I measured, as he planned, the spaces of the air and land and sea. I gauged the secret sources of the springs, from cloud to fish, the shadow of my wings, dreamed over sleeping deluge, piloted the blast that bore Suleiman's throne, and led the cloud of birds that canopied his head, whose word I brought to Balkis, and I shared the counsel that with Asaf he prepared. And now you want a caliph, and I know him, and his whereabout, and how to go. And go alone I could, and plead your cause, alone for all, but by eternal laws. Yourself, by toil and travel of your own, must for your own delinquency atone. Were you indeed not blinded by the curse of self-exile that still grows worse and worse? Yourselves would know that, though you see him not. He is with you this moment, on this spot, your Lord through all forgetfulness and crime, here, there, and everywhere, and through all time. But as a father who some wayward child by sinful self-will has unreconciled, waits till the sullen reprobate at cost of long repentance should regain the lost. Therefore yourselves, to see as you are seen, yourselves must bridge the gulf you made between, by such a search and travel to be gone, up to the mighty mountain Qaf, whereon hinges the world, and round about whose knees into one ocean mingle the seven seas, in whose impenetrable forest folds of light and dark submerge his presence holds, not to be reached, if to be reached at all, but by a road the stoutest might appall, of travel not of days or months, but years, lifelong perhaps, of dangers, doubts, and fears, as yet unheard of sweat, of blood and brain, interminable, often all in vain, and if successful, no return to gain, a road whose very preparation scarred the traveler who scared the traveler who yet must be prepared, who then this travel to result would bring, needs both a lion's heart beneath the wing, and even more a spirit purified, a worldly passion, malice, lust, and pride, yea, even a worldly wisdom which grows dim and dark, the nearer it approaches him, who, to the spirit's eye alone revealed, by sacrifice of wisdom's self unsealed, without which none who reached the place could bear to look upon the glory dwelling there.